Hey, Molson here. I'm at the Cinematheque in Tangier, Morocco, the night of the big movie screening and presentation I'm giving, which is the culmination of all my work here in Morocco for the last year. I've been teaching street children and orphans how to write their own short stories and teaching them how to film it and act and direct and everything. And tonight all the kids are coming to this beautiful art house theater called the Cinematheque. And the kids are going to be presenting their films with me to the community. Really stressed out, really nervous, but it's going to be pretty cool. Nothing like this has been done before in terms of a project like this in partnership with the Cinematheque. So hopefully all will go well. I rented a bus so that the kids from the poor area in Beersheba could afford to come. Yeah, that should be interesting. But here is the projection room where all the short films that I've made with the kids is going to be being projected from here. Pretty cool. That's Simo, the projectionist. He will be doing all the work. Hey, Molson here. I completed the screening and presentation at the big theater here in Tangier, Morocco called the Cinematheque. As I mentioned earlier, I screened all the films and short stories and animated films that I've been creating with the street children and orphans from various centers in Morocco, namely Darna Association in Tangier, Lekbira Center based in Kenitra, and Wafa based in Beersheba, which is a ghetto outside of Tangier. I'm pleased to say that nearly 300 people showed up to my event at the Cinematheque. All the children I've worked with, the street children, the orphans, my students, all of them just packed this theater, which was pretty incredible to see. All walks of life, rich, poor, illiterate, literate, intellectuals, artists, people from the community, painters, photographers, mothers, some of the mothers and fathers of some of the kids that I have. There was other associations that showed up too. There was one association for disabled children, and the disabled children came in. It was pretty awesome that all those people came together on this night, and I was only expecting 50 people to show up. So it was pretty overwhelming. I never imagined it would have turned out the way that it did. To see the faces of my students and my children as their movies and their faces are being projected in this beautiful theater on this big screen, they were beaming with happiness, and they're beaming with pride and confidence, and that was the point. That was my goal for my project. I mean, I can't even really describe the happiness that was on their face. So this event that I organized at the Cinematheque is a culmination of a year of working of my Fulbright project in Morocco. Over the last year, I've been doing film workshops, photography workshops, and music workshops with street children and orphans and drug addicts in Morocco at these various associations. And this night was focused on the films primarily, and all the films that I screened, which were about 12 movies, they were all written, directed, starring, and shot by the children themselves, the street children and the orphans and the students of these various associations, which is what it made it all the more unique, because their stories were being told. Some of them were personal stories, and some of the stories, some of the films were about things that the kids see on the streets here. Most of these kids are faced to deal with issues and challenges that a lot of adults would find almost impossible to deal with. So the kids were, all these kids were sitting in the theater with the adults, with local artists, with, everyone was all there together watching these stories unfold. which I think was a good thing. I mean, it addressed a lot of issues. It addressed poverty, it addressed broken families, it addressed lack of father figures for some of the girls, it addressed problems with drugs, drug abuse. A lot of the films addressed immigration, how a lot of the street children desire to immigrate to Spain or Europe just to escape their problems in Morocco. And then there were some films that were just, funny comedic films, about, pickpocketing or, trying to escape a prison by drawing a key on a wall, kind of whimsical things like that. So, it was, some of the films were very serious and some were kind of lighthearted, which was a good mix. This has been the toughest year of my life. It has been tragic, it's been depressing, it's been lonely, but it's also been really inspiring. And creatively, I've been I woke up here creatively, and that's all thanks to the children that I've been working with. They've inspired me in so many ways, and I've given this project pretty much everything I could give, but the children and the dedicated staff at these centers and my friends in Morocco have given me back so much more, and I'm grateful for that. I'm definitely ready to come home. Mentally and physically, I'm just kind of at my end, but this event was so amazing thanks to the help of my friends and the children and the work of the dedicated staff at Darna and Wafa and Lekbira. So this event at the Cinematheque was a good way to get closure and to show the work of these children. And I definitely plan on showing these movies in the States. I'm coming back to America pretty soon. So I'd like to thank everyone that came, and to the kids. I hope everyone, I hope it raises awareness about some of the grievances these kids have, and also the talent that these kids have and the potential that these children have. If anything, this project really shows how music and art are an avenue for understanding and communication, and music and art education in particular can be a source of empowerment and confidence building, and for these children who otherwise don't have a space to be critical, to creatively express what they have inside of them, all these issues that they have to deal with. Music and art is kind of the key, I think, and that's, if anything, that's what my project is about, and that's what these kids have shown. These kids were brave, and these kids were fearless, and they jumped right in, and they produced these pretty amazing films. It wasn't easy to create. I mean, the main thing isn't the final product for me. The significance in this project was the process of creating with these children, to get them to have the confidence to create, to write their stories, to think about what the message of their stories should be, of these films. And we came out of it with something, with a lot, actually. Every day I walked into these centers, I didn't know which kids were going to be there and which weren't. Some kids ran away, some kids were, goofing off. There was fights. I had to break fights a lot. There was, some kids were dealing with drug abuse. And a lot of them, some kids came to class hungry because they didn't have money to eat that day. And all I had was a small camera, not even a professional video camera, and we pulled together. I mean, we really used everything we had, and once that creative spark, it happens. Once that creative spark manifests itself, there's this momentum and this energy and this confidence and this, I don't know, it's pretty. It pulls people together. It's a unifier, and it's a catalyst for so many things, infinite, whether it's confidence or creativity or peace of mind. I mean, so many things. So I'm really grateful, and like I said, I'm definitely ready to come home. So, but this event at the Cinematheque was a success, thanks to all of your help and support. And I hope you guys enjoy the video that I shot. Signing off from Morocco. Assalamu alaikum.